high school, I never donated blood. I think it was mainly out of fear. It was not until I started working at Millbrook 10 years ago that I was inspired by my students and started donating. When I was in high school, I also never imagined that my daughter, 3 weeks before her second birthday, would need several blood transfusions to help save her life. 3.5 years ago, on a Saturday morning in December, I kissed my husband Ed and 2 daughters, Cody and Tatum, goodbye. They headed to ballet class, and I headed to schoolhouse to teach 6th form English. The day is ingrained in my mind. I remember even the most minute details, etched into my memory and imprinted on my soul. In class, we discussed White Light, Black Rain, a documentary about the atomic bomb. Afterwards, I held a dorm meeting in Abbott, during which we talked about the brand new all-school alarm system. And then I took our dog Riley for a walk around the turf fields, in which I reflected on the name of the Chelsea Morrison Theater, realizing I had never asked anyone about how the school handled Chelsea's tragic death from a car accident. As I headed up the driveway behind Abbott, I was met by 2 police officers. I was worried they were going to scold me for leaving our Christmas tree lights on while I was not in the house. Feeling embarrassed, I led them into our home. My family had been in a car accident. My husband was killed. The likelihood of Tatum's survival was slim. The girls were in helicopters heading to Maria Ferrari Children's Hospital. As I sat in the passenger seat of the police car heading to the hospital, the police officer told me he was going to have to call his wife to tell her he was going to be late to his daughter's 10th birthday party. I told him I was pregnant with another baby girl. Over the next few days, weeks, and months, I spent most of my time in the hospital or driving back and forth to the hospital. I sat by Tatum, waiting, hoping she would wake up. I loved Cody, just 3 years old, as much as I could, holding her tight as she fell asleep each night crying for her father. And 3 months later, I gave birth to a healthy baby girl, Avery. During those seemingly endless days, I was often lost in my thoughts, most of which started with, what if? What if they had left 5 minutes later? What if it had snowed and the ballet class had been canceled? What if Ed had taught my class and I had taken the girls to ballet? What if I never signed Cody up for ballet? What if? Deep in my heart, I knew I was never going to survive if this is how I lived my life. No matter how badly I wanted to change the past, change the outcome, for my family to be back together, I knew that was never going to happen. We all have moments, both good and bad, that we want to go back to and are often tormented by the inability to do so. So one day, I changed the way I thought about the accident. What if? What if my entire family had died that day? And that is how I live my life, knowing that I could have lost everything and realizing that I am one of the luckiest people in the world. I do not think about how I get through each day, but every day I think about why. I think about Cody, Tatum, and Avery, and my sisters, and my parents. I think about my friends and acquaintances that have not given up on me. I think about this community. I think about all of you and how much I love to be part of all of this. My children, my family, my friends, and all of you have taught me the meaning of unconditional love and loyalty. I learned to honor my emotions and acknowledge that it was okay to be sad or lonely or scared or angry. I also realized it was okay to be happy, to laugh, and to smile again. I often remind myself that I am who I am, and I have to be okay with that. I miss my old life, but I am here. My girls are here. And for Cody, that means she is learning to read and add and subtract in first grade. She loves ballet and singing and will do anything to be on stage. She recently learned to ride a two-wheeler and is becoming more independent. She lost a lot of her childhood from what she experienced, but she also gained an understanding of empathy and compassion that is nearly impossible to teach. For Avery, that means I am constantly challenged as a mother. She is a feisty 3-year-old who is learning to talk more and more each week and is developing quite the sense of humor. She cares for Tatum in the gentlest of ways and does whatever she can to keep up with Cody. Avery yearns to know her father, and through stories and pictures, Cody and I try to teach her all that we can about him. For Tatum, each day is different, complicated, painful, frustrating, and sometimes triumphant. She has spent over 180 days and nights in the hospital. She has endured 7 surgeries. Rain, snow, humidity can cause her little body excruciating pain. Her seizures have fluctuated over the past year from over 30 a day to 6 or 7 a week. She cannot walk or talk or see anymore, and she cannot eat or drink. However, she has taught me the meaning of bravery, strength, patience, and hope. She works hard in therapy every day and often defies the expectations of her doctors. She really is my little angel. And for me, that means I get to be a part of all of it. I get to put my daughters to bed every night, and I get to be there every morning when they wake up. I get to hold them when they are scared or in pain, and I get to laugh with them when they are carefree and silly. I find happiness and joy in the littlest of things: a double rainbow over the zoo, a walk on School Road, a night of duty with the girls in Abbott, watching Millbrook in different sporting events, and I even found some humor when Avery, in a fit of anger, launched her glass of chocolate milk across the dining hall earlier this year. So when I donate blood now, it is still out of fear for what could have been. So I am so incredibly grateful for everyone who donated their blood or volunteered their time at the blood drive. I know many of you were filled with fear when you walked into the gym 2 weeks ago. You are braver than I was in high school. I am not sure I would be able to stand up here today if Tatum had not survived, and her blood transfusions were the first step to her survival, so thank you. At the end of the day, this is not about the blood drive. Each of you has helped my family in indescribable ways. I am continuously humbled by this community. I am honored to work here and be surrounded by all of you. So thank you. Thank you for teaching me, for accepting my family, and to those I encounter the most, for your patience, empathy, and love. If I can leave you with one message, it is to take care of yourself, look out for one another, and remember, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. Thank you.